Welcome to Exception Court TV, a series of dev tutorial videos brought to you by Kevin Holditch. Hi guys, welcome to part 3 of my Introduction to Git series. If you remember last time, in part 2, we covered adding files, removing files and committing files. But if you remember, they always occurred on this thing that we touched upon briefly called master. So we're going to go into a bit more detail today about what master is and how you can create other branches and merge them in. So the first thing to do is come to your terminal window and type the command git branch. Now what this will do is list all of the branches you've got set up. Because we didn't create any branches, we get given this default one called master, and the fact it's coloured green in terminal, it might be a different colour depending on what computer software you're using, an operating system. But for me it's green, it's got this star next to it showing you that that's the current active branch. Now to create a new branch, you simply run git branch again and you pass the name that you want to call your new branch. So let's call it my branch. Now, although you've created the new branch, there's a concept in Git called head that confuses a lot of people, but head is literally like the pointer to where you currently are. So if you run git branch again, you'll see that we're still on master because head is still pointing to master. That's where our work's going to happen. So if we committed now, we'd still be doing as we were before, commits on master. So you just see extra commits happening here. If we want to do commits on our new branch, then we have to check that branch out, i.e. point head at the new branch. So to do that, you run the checkout command. So you type git checkout and then the branch name, in this case my branch. And you can see there it says switch to branch my branch. Now if you run git branch, you will see that the star is next to my branch and that's highlighted green. If you refresh gitx, you'll see that my branch is orange and master is green. In gitx they use orange to signify the current branch. I can show you that by creating another branch, git branch my branch 2, and now you'll see there's two green ones, but the active one's currently the orange one, my branch. So let's do a commit. Let's open up that file in Sublime, change it, come back here to terminal. Remember the trick we did before, so if we type git status, that will be a modified file. If we just do am, we can skip the add stage. So adding file on my branch. Now this commit would have occurred on my branch. Now it's important to see here that to actually view this in gitx, we need to change this drop down so you can see the commit on my branch. The best view to have it in is all branches for this purpose, because then you can see everything that's going on. So if you can't see the branch you just created, then just check that you're viewing all branches in this window. So now you can see my branch is actually one commit ahead of master. So you might be wondering at this point, okay, I've created a branch and I've committed to it. How do I then merge those changes back into the master branch? After all, that is the main branch. So to do that, you simply check out the master branch and you see switch to branch master. And you type git merge and that takes the name of the branch you want to merge into your current branch. So our current branch is master because we've just switched to it. And we want to merge in my branch into master. If you view on here, we'll see that now my branch has moved up to master, and master has moved up to my branch. You will also see that this is a special type of merge called a fast forward that Git has informed you inside your terminal window. Now the reason for that is because if you remember before we did the merge, master was here and my branch was here. But literally my branch is just one commit ahead of master, and because they're in the same commit line, Git can just go, okay, well you've asked me to merge my branch into master, that's easy because they're just in the same line, so I'll just move the pointer. So that's all it does, hence the reason it's so fast. So let me just quickly go through a few commits to show you some diverging branches, but you'll see that Git can merge it just as quickly. So if we type git branch, we'll see that we're on master. So let's add a file, d.txt. Let's add that and commit it. Committing d.txt. Git status. We can see we're on branch master. So now we can see master has moved ahead. So if we check out my branch, now let's add e.txt. Add the file and commit it. Adding e.txt. If we view GitX now, or Git extensions if you're on Windows, you'll see how these branches are now diverged, because my branch, which is the active branch, has got file E in it, and master has got file D in it, and both of them have got file A and B.txt and the config.ini. So if we open that up, you can see, because we're on my branch, we've got A.txt, B.txt and config.ini and E.txt. Now if we check out master, watch what happens to the file window. See how that suddenly changed, and E.txt got deleted and D got created. That's because we're switching branches, and notice how quick it is. All other source control systems I've ever worked with, when you switch branches, it's an absolute nightmare. So if we move back to GitX or Git extensions and refresh it, because we're now on branch master, hence the reason that it's orange. If we want to merge in my branch, which will give us the commit that adds e.txt to the directory, we already checked out branch master, so all we do is we merge my branch. And because I didn't give a commit message there, it's actually saying, hang on, you didn't give me a message. So we'll just say, okay, that's fine. Now you can see from this picture, I'm not sure how clear that is, if I click away, see how the branches diverged when we added D to one and E to the other, and now they've come back together again. So now Git is clever enough just to say, okay, well, there's no conflicts there. One branch has got file D in and one branch has got file E in. So the logical thing to do is just, during the merge, to have D and E in there. So if you look at our folder, that's exactly what we've got. We've got all of the files. So at this point you might think, okay, well, I'm done with my branch. I've got the feature that I want now. It was creating e.txt and editing it, and now I just want to delete that branch. So how do we do that? It's really easy to do. Use git branch again, type the name of the branch you want to delete with the -d parameter, just like so. And you can see deleted branch, my branch. Refresh this, you can see my branch is now gone. So let's delete my branch too, because we created that a while back. Same command again, git branch -d, my branch 2. And now you can see my branch 2 has also gone. So we're just left with master. So you can sort of see, I hope, how much power that gave us. We could simply create a branch, do our feature, merge it back in. It was so painless. None of this creating a whole other copy of all of our files like TFS does, editing it all. If we're on a website, we have to change IIS and all the rest of it. All we simply have to do was just literally do git branch, and it changed the current directory over to the new branch when we checked it out. I think that's a great advantage of Git. So that wraps up today's episode on branching and merging. I hope you enjoyed it, and you will check out episode 4, which is going to be on working with remotes. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you found it useful. If you want to get in touch, I'd love to hear from you. You can tweet me at KevHolditch. You can visit my blog, kevinholditch.co.uk, and you can subscribe to this channel by clicking the link down below. Cheers.